just like to say that I have to congratulate Iowa on an incredible season. Awesome. And I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark.
For months, WNBA coaches and players acted like Caitlin Clark was just another rookie.
No whistle there. Van Loo thought she was fouled. Here's Clark off to the races, ahead for Wallace. Perfect. Clark sees two.
It brushed off her impact, ignored the record-breaking numbers, and even tried to convince the world that she wasn't special, but now the truth is impossible to hide. Caitlin Clark is simply too big to ignore.
Carrington all over her. Clark eyes up. Bounces to Boston. Boston one-on-one with Jones will flip it in.
The same coaches who once refused to acknowledge her greatness are now bending showering her with the praise she's always deserved. Why? Because the so-called, quote, stars, quote, they tried to push ahead of her have completely flopped. They've been missing the layups, focusing more on TikTok trends than their on-court performance, and showing the world just how overhyped they really are.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to dominate. She's outclassing her competition, proving that she's a generation talent, and making her doubters look foolish. She stands alone, no debate.
The jumper. Clark, step back, handoff Boston. She'll give it back to her. Good ball movement. Samuelson's open, and she delivers with a three.
At the start of the season, some WNBA coaches tried their best to downplay Caitlin Clark's impact. They acted like she was just another rookie despite the fact that she was already the biggest name in women's basketball. They avoided talking about her redirected questions to other players and even tried to create an illusion that she wasn't as special as FNU she was. But the problem, the fans never bought into the narrative, and more importantly, neither did reality. Caitlin Clark has been putting up numbers that make it impossible to deny her brightness.
You're getting some aerobic fitness in. Good. I need it.
Now WNBA coaches are singing a different tune suddenly. They're talking about her work ethic, her leadership, and her ability to completely change a game. They are publicly admitting what fans already knew. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's a face of women's basketball.
Lays it in.
Breanna Stewart, 4 NCAA championships at UConn. 4 times she was the MVP of the Final Four, the most outstanding player.
Some coaches have even gone as far as calling her the best shooter they've ever seen. Others are talking about her elite basketball IQ and how she makes everyone around her better. But here's the thing, these aren't compliments. They're confessions of confessions that they tried to fight the inevitable but lost for months, the WNBA. And the media tried to push another narrative. They desperately wanted to convince fans that there was someone else, anyone else who could be on Caitlin Clark's level. They handpicked their, quote, chosen one quota player they propped up as the next big thing, someone who was supposed to rival Caitlin Clark and even outshine her. The problem, she flopped. The ANS watched in disbelief as this so-called star missed wide open and layup, struggled to make an impact, and spent more time focusing on social media than actually improving her game. The WNBA's attempt to manufacture a rival for Caitlin Clark completely backfired. Instead of but rising to the occasion, this player exposed a massive gap between herself and Caitlin, and now the WNBA is stuck in an embarrassing situation. They tried to pretend Caitlin Clark wasn't a star, but their handpicked alternative has only proven that Caitlin Clark is miles ahead of everyone else. Every attempt to downplay her greatness has failed. Every effort to push another star ahead River has collapsed. Every coach that ignored her is now forced to praise her. She's putting up stats. No other rookie has touched she's bringing in more fans, more revenue, and more media attention than the entire WNBA combined. She's outplaying so-called, quote, superstars, quote, who were hyped up for years, and now she stands alone. No equal, no debate, just greatness. The season started with doubt, with jealousy, and with coaches and players pretending Caitlin Clark wasn't the biggest thing in the WNBA, but now they've been forced to face reality.
Deliver. We talk about
Clark has the big honor. Sably thinking about taking her. Clark gives it up. Mitchell, a wide open wing three is good.
They've seen their own propped-up stars fail in embarrassing fashion. They watched Caitlin Clark put on a masterclass in what true talent looks like. And now they have no choice but to give her the respect she's earned. It's too late to pretend otherwise. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a legend in the
I'm going to
making.
ask you a similar question to what I asked Caitlin. To know that Dawn praised Caitlin on the stage out there with all that Dawn means to women's basketball. What does that mean for you in terms of who Dawn is, and what does it mean to know that Caitlin is not done? She is going to continue to be a big deal, and for hopefully many years to come now as a professional.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, obviously, Dawn Staley is the leader of women's basketball right now. She's our Olympic coach. She is the person that we are all looking up to. And she's somebody that when she says something like that to a player, it should make them feel really good. So I'm thrilled that she acknowledged Caitlin and her greatness. I really am. I think that Caitlin's going to continue to have this kind of impact in the WNBA Indiana's doing well with their ticket sales. I know Las Vegas just had to move to a different, bigger arena when Indiana comes to town. So those are all really good signs that, women's basketball is in a good spot.
Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in the WNBA has forced even the most respected minds in basketball to recognize her great.
Long embrace and some kind words for after the game and the handshake line. Just wondering if you wanted to share what those were.
Well, there's not a whole lot of strategy. You got to guard her. Nobody else seems to be able to guard her. We didn't even guard her last year when we beat them. She's just a generational player, and she just makes everybody around her better. That's what the great ones do. I think they had a kid that scored 21 and 18. She had 12 assists. Caitlin Clark's not going to beat you by herself. It's what she does to make those other teammates better that helps her score points and them score points to beat you. What did I say to her? I said, I sure am glad you leaving. I said, girl, you something else. Never seen anything like it.
But what makes their words significant isn't just what they said, it's who they are. These are not just casual observers or media pundits. They are some of the sharpest basketball minds in the sport. Their praise carries weight because of their own accomplishments, their expertise in player development, and their deep understanding of what makes a true basketball icon like Stephanie White.
When you think about the great point guards and post players that our game, not just our league, but our game has seen, they are going to go as the greatest. And I'm excited about the opportunity to work with them. I'm excited about the opportunity that we have to build from those starting points and build out, and for the longevity that those two could have in Indiana, in Indianapolis, and hanging banners in this building. All of those things are so exciting. The future's really bright, and I'm just glad.
The Indiana Fever's head coach kicked the franchise out of the playoffs with Connecticut Sun, and she's back at Indiana for one reason, only to restore the Fever's championship glory as she had done before, both as a player and as a coach. Stephanie White compared Caitlin Clark's popularity to that of Taylor. Playing really well, she's shooting the hell out of the ball, and she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight and triple-double second one for a rookie. Just really proud of her and her continue to keep her teammates involved. And then also just her growth, and it's been great.
She's playing really well. She's shooting the hell out of the ball. And she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight. Triple-double, second one for a rookie. Just really proud of her and her continue to keep her teammates involved, and then also just her growth. It's been great.
I think she's used to some shots that she's taken in the last few years that are just those deep shots, and I don't know if there's times she comes off ball screens where she's open in that long two area, and we've got to get her comfortable taking that long two. And she's going to get looks, she's going to get open looks, she's got to figure a few out. Like I gave her a rule the other day, she's got 5 seconds to make a decision when she gets off the ball and she hits one of our high posts. And somebody in the high post, she has a habit of hanging out and dancing. That's what she's done. It's these habits. So we've got to break. She's got players around her now that she can get out, she can go screen, and the ball's going to get back to her, and that's what she hasn't had in the past. So that's what we've been trying to show her and explain to her.
I think she's used to some shots that she's taken in the last few years that are just those deep shots, and I don't know if, there's times she comes off ball screens where she's open in that long two area, and we've got to get her comfortable taking that long two. She's going to get looks. She's going to get open looks. She's got to figure out, I gave her a rule the other day, she's got 0.5 seconds to make a decision. When she gets off the ball and she hits one of our high posts and somebody in the high post, she has a habit of hanging out and dancing. That's what she's done. It's these habits that we've got to break. She's got players around her now that she can get out, she can go screen, and the ball's going to get back to her. And that's what she hasn't had in the past, so that's what we've been trying to show her and explain to her.
Oh, but he won't be the last. The living legend Mike Kazuki has a few things to say about WNBA phenomenon. He coached NBA legends like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Durant, so he knows a thing or two about what makes a player great, with a 5-time NCAA champion called Clark, quote, remarkable, quote, praising her playmaking ability, elite passing, and resilience. He specifically mentioned that she's a franchise cornerstone, meaning she's a once-in-a-generation player that a team can build around.
And she is elite, and she is one special player. Things that stand out to me that have been around the game for 35 years, she plays with great pace. She plays with a great tempo first. She is an elite passer. She is an elite passer. She sees things before they develop. And she can really read things. That's why for us to turn her over 7 times and maybe have some other passes that might have been turnovers attributed to a bad catch or so, was impressive for us tonight, because she is an elite passer of the basketball. So that's what makes her special. Everyone talks about the logo threes. To me, what that does is she got incredible range, but it just opens up the floor for everybody else. That logo range opens up the floor. And so you're always have to be guarding her, and you always have to be giving her attention. She's really special. I don't have a lot of comps. I have different breakdowns of people within her game, but she has it all.
All the historic praise Caitlin Clark is receiving from WNBA champions veteran bookers and even basketball icons like Coach K. You'd think she would be basking in the spotlight, soaking up the admiration and carrying herself like the biggest thing in the sport. But that's the thing about Caitlin Clark. She doesn't act like a superstar. She acts like a student. Clark has every reason to walk around like the WNBA's biggest name, because she is.
You're going to be one of the leaders to help millions of young girls realize their dreams, not just in sport, but you can too. Does not just mean sport. You can too means in everything. And what I told my wife yesterday about talking to a great player that I would enjoy it, I have to confess I was wrong. It was fabulous talking to a great player. You made my dad. You know what? You are so real. I would have loved to have coached you. And you're not afraid. You're not afraid. And God bless you. I've really enjoyed it, and I'll be pulling for you the whole season.
She was a 1 pick in the draft. She shattered NCAA records, and she's single-handedly bringing more eyeballs to the WNBA than anyone in recent history. The league's biggest legends, people who once dismissed her, are now forced to recognize her greatness. And yet, instead of boasting, Caitlin Clark is doing what true champions do. She listens. She soaks in advice from WNBA veterans who have been in the league for years. She trains harder despite already being the most dangerous shooter in women's basketball. She's working to refine her defense court vision and strength. She stays focused. She isn't caught up in the social media clout chase or outside distractions. She just wants to hoop. Many WNBA veterans initially saw Caitlin Clark as just a hyped-up co-star. They weren't to make her rookie year easy, but Clark isn't looking for special treatment. She wants to earn her place. She's asking questions. She's learning the finer details of pro-level defense and game tempo from veterans who have been in the league for a decade. She's respecting the game. She understands that the WNBA is different from college, and she's putting in the work to adjust her play style. She's staying humble. Despite outshining many established stars, she never puts herself above her teammates.
Thus far, and Seattle is making every bit of it for their fans because they are playing an excellent game. In fact, Bentley with a fabulous move, stopping.
Caitlin got out.
Oh, Jewel Lloyd misses after it.
This humility is why even her toughest critics in the WNBA are now respecting her grind. They've seen that she's not some entitled college star who thinks she knows it all. She's what makes Caitlin Clark different from so many so-called stars is that she isn't satisfied she's already one of the most dangerous scorers in WNBA history. But in her mind, that's not enough. Improving her handle, she's working on her strength. She's refining her leadership. She's learning how to lead at the pro level, not just through scoring, but by elevating her teammates' games. If WNBA defenders thought she was a problem before, they have no idea what's coming next. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned.